area followed up. Now the Ringo's still on the board. And again, Churnwalker, that big playmaking captain, taken off. Just again to refresh everybody, for some of you who may not have been here at the beginning of the stream, Lorelei is globally banned as it is causing a issue with the spectator client itself. So we won't be seeing any Lorelei. Just want to make sure everybody knows that. But Grace, first pick here, and that Ringo's still on the board. It's no longer a first pick. You have that next pick as well to kind of keep yourself in a comfort zone. And with the lineup that Nova has, I definitely expect to see a Ringo come out if left available.
No, I do as well. And, we were talking about that A-side first ban. Oftentimes, wait, was there a pick?
Yeah, Blackfeather.
Oh, yeah, I see it. A-side pick, so not a Ringo. And again, B-side, second game in a row that Blackfeather's prioritized as the first pick. It is that flex pick. So it could be going into Crystal Path in the jungle. It could be going Weapon Path into the lane. And so that flexibility we see prioritized. Didn't work out for JimmyFanclub, but I would argue that the Blackfeather did a lot of damage last matchup. It was really one of the factors that was starting to help bring JimmyFanclub back into that game, along with the alpha play was very spectacular.
Definitely was, and the Vox is going to be banned away now as well. And now Arden, so again, 2 carries and 2 captains banned away by the respective teams. And this really starts to pick away at what the enemies have to take. Obviously, we talked a little bit in the first game. The Vox is actually a fairly good counter into the Blackfeather during the late game, if you're able to kite out correctly. And then as well, obviously, JimmyFanclub, they've banned away 2 captains, 2 actually very strong playmaking captains that pair very well with the Blackfeather. And now a Taka is going to be picked up here by the side of Nova. So two assassins that are going to be looking to dive that backline and look to pick off that weapon hyper carry that the side of JimmyFanclub put together. And, they still have that captain position unlocked. We see the Grace pick. We have the 2 captain bans, so they're very likely going to go with something. Either the Lyra would be very good with the Taka and the Blackfeather. They're able to get in and then restrict the enemy's movement abilities with that Bright Bulwark.
This is really interesting that they picked both the Blackfeather and Taka so early. In fact, actually just the Taka. I rarely see, but in general, you rarely see a Taka pick so early because he has weaknesses that can be exploited, and your JimmyFanclub are looking to do just that, picking up that Rona, which we know is a very powerful sustain hero, and sustain is the game that Taka does not want to play. He is burst, he wants to blow you up and delete you, and if Rona can outlive a fight with Taka, and I love the Baptiste pick as well. This is a great, solid pick for locking down both the Blackfeather and the Taka to try to prevent them from getting onto them, doing the damage and getting away, more importantly.
Yeah, absolutely. The Ordain can be very good against the Taka. Even if he Kakus, we do have that bad mojo that can knock the Taka out of his Kaku, as well as even Grace. She has the AoE on her basic attacks and on her Benediction. But not only that, the circumference of a Holy Nova is very similar to the size of that Ordain and could be used for a potential chain stun coming out of those abilities.
The last pick from Nova here, and they're taking a lot of time. And they may exhaust all of their time as far as what they can do to try to prevent. They are going to go with the Lyra, but I'll be honest, to nominate, I really feel JimmyFanclub have a better draft. And a lot of this is because you picked that Taka second, which really, I think, gave away your entire hand.
It definitely did. The Rona and Grace combination specifically. The Baptiste, while he can provide a lot of splash damage onto these melee targets, and he can lock them down with Ordain and Fearsome Shade, I don't really feel he's the biggest threat here. I feel the Blackfeather and Taka specifically are going to have a difficult time trying to kill this Rona unless if they get a snowball started very, very early on, which they're going to need to use this Lyra to the maximum potential to do so.
Absolutely. We'll be getting into this game momentarily as we look to get everybody back into the queue, But I really feel you did yourself just an overall disservice to pick that Taka so early, and you've also given over, I think, a composition with that Rona Baptiste. It, in general, is a very strong combination. Grace is going to give you sustain. Rona loves sustain, and then you've got a great crowd controls, jungler, and Baptiste, which really is going to be difficult for the side of Nova to deal with. And I could be wrong, and they could absolutely blow me away and impress me with their pure raw mechanical skills, but definitely on paper, the way they execute the draft is questionable.
Definitely. We'll have to see as we get into the game, though. I'm actually interested to see who ends up playing what for the side of Nova. Obviously, with Starboy and FPG stepping in and Eco and Delphi stepping out. Starboy, we've obviously known as a captain for the VG8 team for quite some time. But FPG, he's very comfortable in all roles as well. I think him and Starboy are both very, very flexible players.
They are,
and I guess it's going to be determining who they think is going to be the better jungler and who they think is going to be the better captain.
And the fact that they could be flexible is difficult to draft in because you're not sure who you're drafting against as far as position-wise. Because they both can interchange between carry and support, and Starboy can even play as lane. So,
it looks like we actually might have a little bit better of an answer here. So it's going to be not Truth. It's going to be FPG, Starboy, and Eco, and I think this solidifies it a little bit. It's probably going to be FPG in the lane, Starboy in the jungle, and Eco in the captain. Would be my assumption.
Let's wait a second. Hold up. And we're going to have to sort something out here before we get into this game. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be able to get right into this first matchup.
Ben, Sam, and Ken are on separate journeys to defeat the menacing Vile Dragon. But let's just say luck isn't on their side. If only there was a way for them to find each other and band together. Well, that's why there's Band. It's a mobile app that allows people to come together using common interests. With Band, you can find fellow gamers, chat, schedule gaming sessions, and conduct polls. Stage epic battles with friends while sharing videos and photos along the way. So try Band today. Band. Be together.
All right, everybody. Sorry for that delay, but we are back and we are ready. Excited for an awesome matchup here. It is game number 2 between JimmyFanclub and Nova. And Nova, they are up 1 game in the best of 3 series. Denominate. We're talking about an interesting turn of events. It is going to be a full substitution, so we just had to make sure we got that sorted out here. But again, 6 members are on the roster for Nova, which is allowed in VIS Pro, and they made the decision right before draft to switch them all out. Just had to get that all sorted, make sure they were ready. But this is really interesting to nominate because if you're JimmyFanclub, you probably feel pretty good about this.
I definitely think you have to feel good about not playing the Nova starting lineup. And just to clarify, obviously the change was agreed to by the side of JimmyFanclub. They didn't have any concerns with it. Everything all fair in love and war. But we do have FPG again in the lane here on this Blackfeather. Starboy going to be picking up the Taka in the jungle, very likely going down the Crystal path. even with the 2 weapon blades picked up here. Eco, Lyra, very, very strong game-changing captain up against the Grace, so we do have 2 healers on the board. And when it comes down to the sustain game, both the Black Feather and the Rona, very sustaining heroes, but we have to give the edge to the Rona and that double Divine Intervention that'll come out of standing solo.
Yeah, and early on, you have to imagine that you're going to want to see the Grace and the Baptiste try to be putting a lot of pressure on the Black Feather. You're seeing Grace go in really aggressively now. This is a huge difference from what last game. I know they didn't have the Grace available to pick, but there were other supports to pick, and the idea of being able to go in and start the fight as a support is so valuable. Fight down here by the Treant, Denominate, Grass trying to steal it away, unsuccessful.
Yeah, tried, and I'm actually pretty interested to see the change here with Grass going into the jungle position and standing solo. Going to be picking up the captain role here on this Grace, and now Grass, I think you might have bitten off a little bit more than you can chew here, buddy.
Oh, going down. First kill, first blood, Nova. And I hate to call them the B Squad Denominate, because these are all fantastic players. Obviously, Starboy was the starting support, but FPG and Eco have been on the team here for quite some time. And yet, you know what? They're coming in here and impressing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see, obviously, this Rona going to take a little bit of time to scale up and really be that kind of tanky, hyper carry hero that we know her to be. But we'll get there in due time. Stand Solo rotating up. Lightning T here. He's on to Stand Solo. Or, with Stand Solo. Gets a little bit of damage down onto FPG. And now it actually looks like they're going to rotate over and try to get some of Starboy's farm. I think Stand Solo got that one. I don't know if he's going to be able to get the second one. He's going to get the second one, too. The disrespect coming out of Stand Solo there. That's an Imperial Sigil, though. Going to help this Taka get into range. There goes Starboy. Kaiten over Stand Solo. And with the speed boost Taka gets, I think this should be a potential kill. FPG not quite rotating over in time. There. Got a little bit cut off.
Yeah,
and that Flask is going to go ahead and save Stand Solo.
Yeah, I mean, well timed. He had to use his boots. He had to use his Flask. Those are pretty long cooldowns. So he is going to be in a world of hurt. Might actually even think about just playing it safe now.
Yeah, absolutely. The Grace, once upon a time, she was pretty blessed with her movement speed. She's had some changes. A little bit slower with all that heavy armor she's got wearing, so definitely have to be careful at this point. That Benediction can be used effectively to create or close distance. But Lightning T, it looks like he's got that Serpent's Mask complete now. There it is as he rotates down to the shop. And Grass going to be up here in the lane. This Baptiste, again, I don't think the Baptiste is really going to be much about the damage in this game. I think it's more of just a help protect Lightning T and let Lightning T be the hyper carry that the team needs, using that crowd control to their advantage. The slow on the bad mojos, the ordained, the fearsome shade, anything at all to help keep this Taka from just having free reign over the fights.
A close call there for FPG. Had to use his Flask as he was getting on, but there is Taka going in. Heal, oh my goodness, blowed up. And as fast as I could call it, that was Starboy going down.
Yeah, Taka went in a little bit too far, quite squishy at this point in the game. He hasn't been able to build up any health or any defense to help himself survive. So that's something that Starboy is going to have to, make note of for himself. While he is very bursty, the main priority target he's got needs to be Grasscoon, trying to take down this Baptiste early on in the fight. And, right now, he's very susceptible to the amount of burst damage that can come out of those bad mojos when the Reap heroic perk is procced effectively and used to get that bonus damage. So Starboy, a lot of damage, but is also going to take just as much in return, thanks to the wonderful draft actually put together by JimmyFanclub.
Yeah, really good job
here. Comes the Taka right now. They might have found some opportunity, though. Starboy, again, puts out a lot of damage, takes a lot of damage in return. FPG, he's pretty low on health now, too. Lightning T was able to make it out. A beautiful Kaiten there was able to get some good damage down onto Grass, forced to use the Flask of his own. Again, not going for the damage, has gone Clockwork first, just looking for that utility, looking for that additional crowd control that he can provide his team. But now, because of the rotation that the side of JimmyFanclub have made, it's allowed Nova to force this wave up. Not going to be able to get any damage on the turret, though. FPG, Rose offensive, getting out of that Ordained. Go ahead and return to their side now. Things kind of even out here, but it is JimmyFanclub taking a little bit of a gold lead.
You know, it's kind of interesting because we talked about the crowd control in the draft that's really going to favor early on, especially right out the gate. You've got that Holy Nova as well as that Ordained, but it's just the impressiveness of both Taka and Starboy not even having to use reflex blocks to get out of those crowd controls. Rose offensive, kiting over the barrier to get onto the hero, you know, the invincibility he has there, avoidant blocks. These are things that, you know, take a lot of skill, and Nova have been able to do. So with no reflex blocks, they could potentially avoid a lot of that early crowd control. Not to mention that you do also have a portal for getting in and out of sticky situations.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be an Ordained drop down onto FPG there. And Lightning T going to be able to heal up off of the lane wave here a little bit, but some good poke out of FPG is helping him manage his enemy's health. That turret's taking quite a bit, though. FPG, he's locked up by the Fearsome Shade and the Ordained. He's going to get some damage down. He's going to make it out alive, but that first turret is going to go down for JimmyFanclub, and a Divine Intervention going to help top off Lightning T, who might be looking for more. FPG, you've got to be careful here. There's an Ordained. Beautiful play set up by the side of JimmyFanclub. That's going to be a second kill. They maintain their gold lead. Starboy comes on over the wall, but not really in time to do much about it, as landing on the Grace, not the most ideal target. And now JimmyFanclub starting up the gold mine, and not a whole lot Taka can do. His one benefit is there's only one scout trap right now for the side of JimmyFanclub. He's going to be able to rotate to the backs, take away some farm, but at the cost of losing out on that gold payout, which, despite the visual bug, was a full gold payout, so about 400 going over to the side of each member of JimmyFanclub.
Yeah, there's no way he could have contested. After that fight, JimmyFanclub still had a fountain, and two of their members, both Grass and Lightning T, had their flask as well. So an insane amount of sustain that was still in the tank for the side of JimmyFanclub, and, you know, rightly so, Nova just trying to avoid it. Starboy trying to just get out of this very sticky situation. There's a flare, and it looks like he might get out, but this could be Starboy going down. And it is.
Yeah, definitely. Starboy is going to drop. It's a third kill on the board for JimmyFanclub. A little bit opposite of what we saw last game. It was the side of Nova taking the edge early on and really carrying away with it throughout most of the game, right up until about the 14-minute mark. This time, you know, with this Rona pick that we just know to be so strong, so much sustain, as well as the ability to build up that breaking point that Lightning T already has complete, that's going to be a really difficult thing to deal with for the side of Nova. Blackfeather, for quite a while, was a very strong pick, but the Rona was that one ultimate counter to the Blackfeather, just able to sustain and deal out just as much damage as the Blackfeather, as well as, you know, even better than the Blackfeather in most cases. In the Taka, very bursty, not quite as good against these very tanky targets. So it's kind of the downfall, is this composition that Nova's put together. While on paper it looks good, against the Rona in her almighty form right now is just too difficult to deal with.
Yeah, we saw this in game number 1 as well. Blackfeather not performing well. It was on the opposite side. They have a fight breaking out here a lot, but it's a 2v3. Scratch that. Here comes the Baptiste, but it's too late.
Yeah, they were able to take down the Rona that time. In fact, they're able to find the Baptiste as well, but not at no cost, as they lose out on FPG. They may even lose out on Starboy. Kaku is going to help him survive. There's the Imperial Sigil, but oh man, that X-Retsu takes Starboy right as Stand Solo is escaping. He might be able to come over and finish off the kill. There's a flask from Stand Solo. He is looking to make it out alive and waste a bit of Starboy's time, actually. There's another X-Retsu, but a stun underneath the turret, going to take a shot. And just like that, Starboy's able to Kaiten out of the damage zone of that turret and pick up the kill. I'm not really sure why Standing Solo decided to go back in that way.
Yeah, picked up the kill right when Standing Solo was starting to proc his Divine Intervention, trying to get that heal, and unfortunately did not get the heal, but wasted that cooldown. It's not very long, but it's one to keep an eye on. And good job, Starboy. He was playing very aggressive. He knew he could probably get it. Good job by Eco to come in there, recognize the aggression from his teammate, and follow up with him, giving him that sigil. Definitely saved his life as Rona was coming in right behind standing solo. But, you know, getting a kill, it's important, but all three members are back up on the board. What's interesting is, you know, on paper, we talked about how good the draft is from JimmyFanclub. And they've really definitely taken advantage of early objectives here, early kills, but it's otherwise a fairly close game as we approach the 12-minute mark. You know, there's not a huge lead, and it's definitely not insurmountable. You have to imagine Nova, one good fight, will even up these objectives.
Yeah, it definitely could, and if they're able to find a kill onto Lightning T early on in the fight again, which it's going to be a little bit more difficult now that he's starting to stack up some of that defense, as well as has a little bit bonus health from finishing those tier 2 boots as well. While it's only 125, you know, we see several times where 5, 10 health can be the difference in someone's life. Eco, he's dropped quite low here. Here comes Starboy, looking to get some damage, but the Divine Intervention is down onto Rona. That red mist is out, and now Starboy has burned out all of his tricks. Is he going to make it out of here? There's a Chitin and a Kaku going to go ahead and help him get out. FPG, I don't know if he's going to have the same fate. There it is, another kill going over to Lightning T. And Ordained onto Starboy. That Kaku is ready to go. It's not quite going to get him out, though. Starboy is going to drop as well, and just like that, JimmyFanclub, they found themselves 2 kills onto the carries. They're going to find themselves a turret as well, and it looks like Grass is going to go ahead and rotate down. He's going to find a whole jungle out of the side of Nova for him to reap some of that gold, get some health topped off from these treants, as well as the whole team going to regroup, hit that shop. Lightning T, 2,000 gold to spend. Grasscoon sitting just about 1,500 by the time he makes it to the shop. And they're still maintaining fairly decent control of this game.
Yeah, and that was the fight that Nova really didn't want to give up, because that was a huge turret, and now it looks like they're going to be going for this gold miner. It might be contested. Big turn for JimmyFanclub in this series here as they're dominating this match and looking to go in as they contest this gold miner.
Yeah, they're definitely going to go for it. Grass, he's dropped quite low. Starboy's on the far end of this fight as well, taking a lot of damage. That Kaku is going to get him out safely. Lightning T, he's looking for the kill onto Eco. One more hit, he'll have it. With the captain and healing down, there might be an opportunity here for Rona to go ahead and finish off this fight, despite standing solo about to drop. Goldmine is here. Lightning T can use that red mist to damage all enemies in that goldmine. There it is right there. Will they get the finish? Taka's going to go ahead and find it, and because Lightning T dropped that red mist, that's going to be an ace for the side of Nova. And as you mentioned, if they're able to find a fight, they'd be able to turn this around pretty quickly. And with the ace wave, they're going to take down a turret for themselves as well. And they are going to start to even out that gold lead that was in favor so heavily of JimmyFanclub.
Grass.
In fact, oh no, Grass has been caught out a little bit too far. That's another kill going over to the side of Nova. 8-7. Gold lead still in favor of the side of JimmyFanclub.
I mean, I gotta be honest, I was definitely noting the Nova had to win a fight, but that was so risky for JimmyFanclub. They forced a fight, 2-man, against the Taka and the Black Feather, the slipperiest heroes in the game. Easily could get in and try to steal a gold mine. There was no need for them to try to take that gold mine. They really should have baited, started the gold mine, go for the fight. And it looked like they were doing it, but they never stopped taking aggro from the gold miner through that whole fight, just compounding the amount of damage they continue to take. Rona, so much sustain, couldn't out-sustain, basically a 4v3, which ended up being a 1v3 at the end of it. Almost did it, but a little too late. And now looking to catch out Eco. He might have to burn his arcane passage. He does. Oh, but not without JimmyFanclub following up. And Denominate, again, Nova, they, looking for another win, but with Kraken now on the board, the stakes have risen.
Yeah, but Taka is actually pretty good at stealing away a Kraken. The X-Retsu does so much damage, as well as that damage over time to follow up. But Eco dropped early on in the fight. That's not good for the side of Nova. This Kraken sitting around half health, but FPG comes through strong with a kill onto Grass. Do they have what it takes to take down Lightning T, though? He's dropped very low. Nova playing it smart. Every time that red mist gets dropped, they both just split up. And now they might be able to find a kill on the stand and solo. Another Kaiten coming out of Starboy. There's the X-Retsu. Just like that, Nova turned things around with some good positioning coming out of the two carries.
And you know, so much focus on Eco by JimmyFanclub. You would think would pay off. You're taking away a very powerful healer and support for this team, but the amount of damage that's being stacked up here, that breaking point, you've got to be careful. Blackfeather gets about 10 stacks, and his damage output now is so scary. Rona really can't survive it. You're going to see Lightning T thinking about it, but nice job by Nova. They're going to turn it onto Lightning T.
Yeah, they're going to, but can they find it? There's a Kraken take. That's going to go ahead and be one going over to the side of JimmyFanclub. Lightning T's even going to make it out alive, it appears. Grass going to go ahead. Bad Mojo forces Starboy out. Now, while they aren't going to have the strongest push with this Kraken, it's still not Nova, who were all very healthy pushing down the lane at this point.
Yeah, they got to be careful.
T, here he comes, though. Divine Intervention is out. That red mist and the bonus barrier in that fortified health that it gives. That's a kill onto Eco very, very quickly, but Lightning T, because he was so low on this engage, is going to have a rough time. Fountain is used. Starboy taking a lot of damage, but almost able to kill. Actually gets the kill onto Grass. That's going to be 2 for the side of JimmyFanclub, only 1 for the side of Nova. And now FPG's alone trying to deal with this Kraken with Standing Solo and Lightning T ready to come up here and help it close out this choke point turret.
Oh yeah, he's got to be careful. Nice block. And he is going to get to the safety of his sanctuary. It looks like the nominee, JimmyFanclub, are going to get this turret. But with that explosion damage, AoE on the Kraken, I don't think Kraken's going to get much more.
No, definitely not. In fact, Lightning T might have overstayed a little bit here. They have pulled off of the Kraken, but it is wailing away on that turret. Lightning T, can you find the kill? There's a block from both FPG and Lightning T. FPG and Eco now turning their attention on the stand-in solo. Should easily be able to pick up this kill. Kraken just now gone down, but not before taking out almost that entire turret. Dragonborn, one more hit would have done it, but side of Nova, they pick up 2 kills, and they're sitting with only 1 and a crippled turret to defend their Vein Crystal against the 3 that stand for the side of JimmyFanclub.
Yeah, and Kraken was so low, we actually thought probably it would go down very quickly, but those turrets don't do nearly as much damage on Kraken as you would think, and, you know, Nova ignoring that, going for the fight. I'm not going to say it was a bad idea. They still have 2 turrets, and as long as they don't get another strong push likely ends the game for JimmyFanclub anyways. But we've got another fight breaking out here to nominate with FPG starting off very low.
Yeah, a little bit of a tussle, but not much to come of it. Nova, they're going to go ahead and take this opportunity to hit the shop. Starboy needs to get the gold to get a infusion online before this next fight. Both Grass and Lightning T are infused, ready to go. FPG, he's got the gold to reinfuse, as well as sitting on a little bit under half of his remaining infusion. Gonna have to give this gold over to Starboy. Again, needs to get that infusion online. He'll have it, but he's got to get the opportunity to shop now. Kraken, he's got about 1.5 minutes left before she is back on the board, I think, if my calculations are correct. But we'll have to see how this next fight goes, because we might not need another Kraken if JimmyFanclub win the fight. Got one breaking out right now, though. They found some good damage onto Eco. Eco getting dropped incredibly quickly in this fight. Lightning T not hesitating to look for that damage, helping build up that breaking point at 20 stacks to FPG's 10. That's a beautiful opportunity for Lightning T to find some good damage. He's on to Eco. There's the kill. Can they find Starboy at Kaku? It's going to make it a little bit difficult. In fact, they are not going to find Vitaka. Might find a couple hits, but shouldn't find the kill. Starboy is going to go ahead and use that Kaiten to get out. There's another Kaku going to help get him out of danger. I think Lightning T should have what it takes to push down this turret, though. Again, very, very crippled. If they're able to get this wave up to that turret, it's going to drop incredibly easily, incredibly quickly, as well as with the Into the Fray and the Benediction, they could easily get out of harm's way.
Yeah, Lightning T, I don't think he wants to risk it. Starboy being a little cheeky here. He does have a lot of burst damage, so again, you know, misplay, not maybe having your red mist up could be problematic. Instead, Lightning T and Standing Solo, they're just really good disengage. They don't even take away any farm. So that is going to be important, but that fight going in favor of JimmyFanclub, absolutely. I mean, and a lot of that was they finally stopped paying attention to Eco. You saw so much priority trying to take Eco down instead of focusing down the Blackfeather, who really is the main threat. He builds up enough stacks quick enough, and that he's going to be able to just destroy and delete the enemy team. And a lot of the focus early on in Eco, I think, was misguided. They changed their attention. They took down the Blackfeather, and you can see without the Blackfeather, it is a much weaker team. Nova needs to be a little bit careful in their positioning. They can't give up the Blackfeather death so quickly in these fights.
Yeah, they definitely can't. It's already hard enough to compete with what the Rona is able to do. Now with all players in this game infused, ready to go, this next fight should definitely spell out who's going to win this game. Whoever wins can either take the Kraken or just force down the base. 12-14. Here comes Lightning T, but he's split up quite a distance from Grass. This could be pretty risky. Lightning T sitting on 5 stacks, FPG on 2. Fight is heavily breaking out. Again, Lightning T focusing on Eco with every opportunity he gets. Divine Intervention going to help keep him alive. I don't even know if they're going to get the kill onto Eco this time. Grass is getting bombarded by damage coming out of Starboy. The kill onto Eco is there. Starboy now looking for some damage onto this Rona, and it looks like they might be able to pick up the kill here. There's going to be one stunned underneath the Crystal Sentry. FPG has to be careful. Standing solo, hugging onto that Sentry as much as possible. Has another Divine Intervention ready to go here in a couple seconds, but is going to go ahead and recall, and this should give another turret opportunity over to Nova. With only the captain alive, they shouldn't have really any opportunity that they aren't able to take this. There's the turret, 10 seconds left on Grass, 20 on Lightning T. They can take the opportunity now to head down to the shop, top off their infusions, as well as Starboy needs to be looking to finish out a couple more items here, Dragon. And what do you expect to see? I mean, what would you expect to see? The War Treads completed for Taka, getting that a little additional tankiness, as well as team-wide speed buff, or do we think it's going to be the Halcyon Chargers for the cooldown and energy regeneration?
You're talking about Taka?
Yeah, he went ahead and finished off the Halcyon.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, oh, as you were saying it, he kind of made that decision.
Yeah, when I started, it wasn't quite there, and at that point, I quit looking away from it, so... But anyway, it's Halcyon Chargers.
Yeah, and we were pretty much near final build for both these teams. So at this point, execution is the name of the game. We're continuing to see the whole focus coming out of Lightning T is to take down Eco, and I understand why he would want to, but every single time he only focuses Eco and tries to take out Eco. If he doesn't pay attention to the Blackfeather seems to run away with the game here. You're seeing real quickly, there was no block there, but this is a huge fight, and one that you're seeing, oh my goodness, it is going to be the Baptiste going down so early.
Yeah, Grass got annihilated there by the side of Nova, but now Lightning T, he's looking to maintain these stacks. He's got 20. He's a massive threat if he can stay on target. FPG and Starboy just looking to get in and out of this fight. They've done it so well. They take down Lightning T, and that's going to be them chasing down Stan and Solo at this point. If they get the ace, there's only 2 turrets between them and a victory, and 30, 40, and 50 second death timers remaining here on the side of JimmyFanclub. Nova,
it's a little risky. I don't know if they've got the time. They've got a few waves to push through. You're going to have the Baptiste up, and they're going to try to go for it. I know that even taking the Kraken might have been a little bit of a risk, as you don't want to give over that gold. So 9 seconds. That's the name of the game. We'll see if they can do it. They do split the turrets here, Denominate. Oh, this is going to be close.
Yeah, that ace wave is easily more than enough. Even with Grass up, he's not going to be able to contest the whole enemy team of Nova by himself. I mean, look at the Vein Crystal. No defense for the Vein Crystal. Takes all of that damage. Not even close coming out of JimmyFanclub there. That was beautiful execution by Nova. They had the damage. They knew that ace wave was going to force down the enemy minions very quickly. They took that opportunity. They ran away with it, and they picked themselves up a 2-0 victory over JimmyFanclub.
Yeah, and, not clean at all. Much, I guess, reminiscent of Game 1, where both these teams going back and forth at different phases of the game. This game going pretty long, actually, at 25 minutes. And one that, I would say for the better half of that game, Denominate, I really thought Nova was going to lose it. Instead, they came back. And that all was about how they played the team fights. I feel also the fact that we didn't see the same focus on maybe trying to take out Blackfeather and the Taka. And, you know, obviously Lyra's it's an easier target to get on top of and kill of, right? Because she doesn't have quite the mobility that the Blackfeather and Taka have, but it just felt so, unfortunately, so misguided, because even with Lyra gone, Blackfeather and Taka were able to be a serious threat.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, in the end, the Blackfeather Taka, they played it just so perfectly. Eco was getting jumped on very early on in the fights. For a long portion of that game, he had the lowest armor, and it made it very easy for Lightning T to build up the breaking point. But when it came down to FPG and Starboy, once Eco was down or forced out of the fight or whatever it may have been, they did such a great job of splitting up from Rona every single time she used that red mist, taking away that benefit of fortified health. You know, the fortified health is nice, but it's best when paired